Thank you for joining this next review, my Oronin, as we go through another Zelda game remastered on the Nintendo Switch for its 35th anniversary. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword was a Nintendo Wii original almost 10 years ago and was praised and sold successfully. Mainline Zelda games, or should I say Zelda games overall, are not viewed much with a mixed to negative reception the whole time, with some exceptions.
How about a kiss? For luck?
You've got to be kidding.
I guess that's worth a kiss, huh?
Ha!
I won!
I wonder what's for dinner.
Oh boy! I'm so hungry, I could eat an Octorok!
Please don't seek those games. Watch on YouTube for meme purposes. On the topic of Skyward Sword, there was some room for improvement if the franchise was to continue down the road with motion controls. How well improved is it on the Nintendo Switch compared to the Wii version? I'm about to tell you right now. Skyward Sword is a traditional 3D Zelda title in terms of combat and exploration. You have a sword and a shield used for Link, the hero, as he travels across the land and the sky. So the story starts with Skyloft, an aerial town created with land from the surface by the goddess Hylia. You start off as Link and you will meet Zelda and Skyloft, as in the story they both grew up as childhood friends. During the day in Skyloft and the ride using their own Wafflings, Zelda has been consumed by a portal. Link then gets the Skyward Sword inside the temple of the goddess in Skyloft, which has him being the chosen hero of the sword. It is a mission to have Link find Zelda in the land in the first game in the Zelda timeline. So this is a great opportunity to start off the exploration of the lore if you are new to Zelda. Link will be able to travel over the heavens with the Loft Wing, and from there dive down the land and fight monsters and other enemies. What is unique to Skyward Sword is the sword in the game is in full motion, whether playing on both button-only mode or using the Joy-Cons for motion controls. Since the game was made initially for the Wii, intended for motion control use, then you will see the mimic motions in-game from your hand. This time, you will not have to go through the frustrating recalibration every so often like in the original release. The button-only mode guarantees this for a fact. Using button-only mode at this time, your analog stick will be the controller of your sword. When pressing the left analog stick works for your shield. Playing with just button-only myself, I can definitely say that the feeling is different and takes some getting used to. The right analog stick works for camera movement, but only as you press and hold down the L button on your Pro Controllers or other in-button format. Without holding it, you will pull out your sword unintentionally. With a couple hours in, you will get used to it. This can be troubling, especially if you use the motion controls on the Wii version and you are already accommodated with that. While I have not played with motion controls yet on the Switch version, I can imagine that the experience may be about the same. Overall gameplay style, it retains the traditional 3D Zelda elements from a sword and a shield and being able to hold different items and alternating them. If your first game for the Zelda franchise was Breath of the Wild, then I can tell to absolutely expect fundamental differences. And the game is not a downgrade, as it is a remastered re-release, a game that was made before Breath of the Wild came to mind. What is included, however, is stamina and sprinting for purposes of reaching high spots and to speed up Link's pace. As far as graphics come in, it is definitely cleaned up a good bit from the Wii version. It is upscaled to full 1080p and 60 frame rates per second, and throughout my playthrough I can confirm that I have not encountered a single drop in resolution or FPS. This gives the biggest amount of thumbs up possible, as most third-party developers have no desire to work on the simplest performance skills outside of graphics that Nintendo intends to work on. Many of their games aren't even that graphically demanding for third-party titles and shows no effort in maintaining resolution and frame rate. This one does a great job at it. On top of this, the nice cutscenes brings the charm even more, despite the lack of voice acting. Fees, or Fies, depending on how you pronounce it, the frequency in having to pop out at most inconvenient times has toned down significantly, thankfully. which does help with playability, plus the pacing, as the annoying with her messages on the Wii remote can get dry throughout of the game overall. Story completion time can take around 25 hours to 30 hours when focusing on just the story and not side quests. Adding on to side quests, you can go overall around 40 to 45 hours depending on the desired quest completed, which is safe to expect a good handful to be done to help progress through. While exploration and combat in Skyward Sword isn't that difficult and is friendly enough for newcomers, it still brings in great charm for veteran Zelda players and those who play the Wii version. Skyward Sword is a charming game in the Legend of Zelda series, just like almost all Zelda games to be in existence. While to this day, voice acting is limited to non-existent, the characters and interaction stays memorable. For Skyward Sword's case, it's definitely a memorable one once you pick up the new Nintendo Switch version with control options, refined graphics, and gameplay simplified for the sake of user friendliness. It was worth the release for the franchise's 35th anniversary, with hopefully more remasters for Nintendo of other franchises. A big thumbs up for me. Thank you for joining this review, everybody, and if you want to go ahead and see more content, please go ahead and subscribe and click on the notification bell below so you'll be able to be caught up. Until next time, everybody, be prepared for the next video.